bulging muscles and sweaty or thing, then I've got some interesting news for you. Because I'm doing that YouTuber thing and telling you that there's news about news. So basically Street Fighter 6 has been announced, the successor to Street Fighter 5, and it's got everyone stirring and going. There was no gameplay footage per se, but there was a very erotic trailer featuring Ryu and of course Luke, who was recently added in Street Fighter in 2021. And if you're wondering why it was Luke of all characters, it was because a while ago Capcom basically teased that he was a glimpse of the future into the franchise. And by looking at the trailer, you can now understand what they were talking about. Now I'm going to speculate and be a little bit optimistic and presume that this is in-game footage, and looking at it already I'm going to imagine that this was built using the PS5 and the graphic fidelity is absolutely awesome. That doesn't change the fact that I am absolutely hideous at fighting games, but there has been pushes into the genre to make it more accessible for newer players, and if you want to have a look at one that's doing it more recently, then have a look at the new League of Legends fighting game. So this has opened up a lot of questions. The first one is, when can you find out more? That will be coming later on in the year, roughly around the summer period. The other one, of course, being about console exclusivity, because Capcom in the past have partnered with PlayStation to produce the Street Fighter games. And they basically said this because they believed that PlayStation shared the same vision of growth as they did. That being said, Nintendo fans and Xbox fans are also scratching their head wondering if they're actually going to get a piece of the pie this time. Now, unfortunately, the reality in this situation is that I probably think this is going to be a PlayStation exclusive again with, the PC connectivity. One of the great things about Street Fighter and the reason it was so successful was the fact that it had crossplay, meaning that the player base was absolutely huge, which if you have played any other fighting games across the consoles, you will know that they're in their own little pockets. And even if you know a little about games with huge skill caps, you'll know that they require a massive player base for them to be successful and fun. Now, this isn't the first time we talked about Street Fighter 6. Back in 2020, there was a Capcom leak which suggested that it was meant to come out in the third quarter of 2022. That being said, with COVID and delays, that's probably very unlikely at this point in time. But we will find out more during the summer, and we'll probably hear about betas in the not too distant future, and it will be all very, very exciting. I personally absolutely love the fighting game scene, purely from the spectator point of view. They're fun to watch, they're always adrenaline fueled, and if you've never watched any Red Bull series of any fighting game tournament, I highly recommend you have a look. Anyway, I will be back with more news on this soon. Let me know what you think. Do you play fighting games? Let me know in the comments below. But until then, have a great week, and I'll be back with more news and reviews soon.